Hello and welcome back to another story of the week. This one then, like I promised you last week, be a bit more upbeat, more kind of funny than light-hearted compared to last week's then story of the week. So this one, what am I now? I'm 25. I've just got off that cruise ship, more or less. Maybe I've been home for about a year. And I am slowly building kind of more hours, more classes in the area of Brighton then. And I finally landed a class, so only one class, but it's a foot in the door is high, so look at it back then, to a fairly big name club. My son was probably just born or about to be born at this time, so it all meant quite a big deal to me. And so much so, I recall when I did start to work then at this club, I would like to please almost every member, and I'd take all of their criticisms or all their comments then to heart, and I would try my very, very best to please everyone. So even the moaners, you know what I mean by the moaners, you get them everywhere. Just those that are never happy, they can't be satisfied. So I never really had at the time the ability to just either shrug that off or even just stand up and argue my own point or just say no. Which is odd, isn't it? Because obviously now I look back at that all and think I have got a fairly big following. I have a wait list of people wanting to get into my classes. I'm always fully booked. And that was even the case back then. You know, I very soon became popular. I should have just kept that in my head and ignored the minority that, you know, I couldn't please. Well, this is how then this all kind of began, and it all then kicked off, basically. That club, I was asked, after a couple of months working there, would I take on a yoga class in an evening? And that yoga class I would have taken on was already established. It had an instructor that's been doing that for some years. So of course they have their own regulars. People go to that class regularly each week. It's quite a big deal to them. So I took that class on, and this was the first time I would have encountered and experienced this then. I know it well enough now, and I'm sure if you are an instructor and you are listening, you will know and feel this as well. When you take on a class or you cover a class, the looks you get. So from those regulars, if you're not their regular instructor, they almost look at you with a glare. You can see them thinking, well, who the bloody hell are you? And you just have to ignore it and just think, well, I am here. They should be grateful. But there is something odd about that. They just, don't really almost give you a chance. So I think after that first one I did, one of the regulars then from the previous instructor approached me, gave me some slight criticism, not too much, but just slight criticism. Her big concern was my music choice then. She did not like my music choice. And she suggested I play other music. She wanted me to play the typical kind of yoga, Indian, what's the instrument called? I think you call it a SITAR. That type of music. And I didn't want to. It's a 90-minute yoga class back then, so I didn't really fancy doing that for a whole 90 minutes. So I would, rather than just say no, or in so many words outright no, I'd basically kind of go along with, oh yeah, that's a good idea, all right, I'll have a look then for next week. If I find anything, I'll download it and we'll play it in the playlist. And of course I was kind of using that week after week after week, and that went on for quite some time. But then the other regulars didn't have a problem with my music choice. They kind of liked it. They preferred it. Many of them told me. I'm starting to win over the other members, they kind of started to kind of come round to me being their new regular instructor. That's all going rather well with them. And that was it. 1 week, that lady that wanted the Indian sitar music at the start of the class again, well, did you get some? And I've gone my usual, I've forgotten again, next week. And then her like face, it changed. There was a smirk. And the smirk was almost her saying in her head, checkmate. Because what she's done, as she's looking at me, she's either her handbag or it's come out of a pocket or something. I can't remember that bit. But she's basically pulled out slowly a CD. And I knew it. I just knew. Without even telling me, I just knew what this CD bloody was. And of course it was, wasn't it? It was her sitar Indian bloody playlist she had made and brought to me, so I have to play it in the class. And again, I don't know why. I think now I just say at this age, I'm not playing it. But she did. She got me into that corner and I went, okay, yeah, we'll play it. And then every time she came, have you got my CD? Some weeks I wouldn't even have the CD. She'd go, I've got another one. And then she'd give me the other CD. So this went on for quite some time. There was then maybe a 2-week period she had stopped coming. Maybe she went on holiday. So during that 2-week period she wasn't coming, I kind of like told all my other members, my other regulars, look, what's going on, right? I'm so sorry. This isn't my music choice. I'm being made to play this music. Well, not to that level, but I just described to them, yes, I kind of feel I have to play this music. That one lady keeps bloody giving me these CDs to play. They all kind of laughed about it. We had a bit of a joke. And then, of course, that was it. On the week she came back, well, we all bloody know it. So there's a bit of an inside joke, a bit of a laugh, a bit of a snigger when the music goes on. And then she was looking around a bit puzzled, like, what's everyone laughing at then? And then that would go on for another about 2 weeks of that. Until then 1 week, the music went on, and then another member. Imagine another member that's almost a bit like her, kind of, a bit more outspoken. Well, she then, the other member, has almost on my behalf spoken up. Oh, I was cringing so hard. The other member's basically just gone, when the music's played, when I've turned it on, she's just kind of gone, can't listen to this again. Fed up with this. And then, of course, for one that did like that music all the time, what do you mean? And there was a bit of an argument then kind of brewing. And other members were chipping in. And that was it. The one that spoke up for me completely chucked me in at all of it and just said, well, yeah, Gareth doesn't like it either. He told us the other week it's you that making us play all this music. Oh, and I can't stand it. Even now, just thinking about it, I can't even recall what I would have said. Just actual, cringe. What do I say? I think I can recall it all went very quiet. That sitar Indian music just carried on to play. It was a very extra long feeling 90 minutes, that session. Even though in yoga, you're breathing long and calm in and out of the nose, I kind of felt in that 90 minutes, I didn't breathe once. I kind of held my breath of how awkward I felt. And then that class ended. That lady kind of, quite angrily rolled up her mat, got her stuff. When the class finished, she's left. And then that was it. I never saw her come back ever again. Oh, cringing now. So there you go. That is an account. Christ. what's the message there? I guess you just say what you really think sooner than later. Is that what it is? Well, there you go. Thank you very much. I hope you did enjoy, and yeah, listen out for next week for the next story of the week.